Well, as a student or an expat, you definitely have situations wherein you will have to shortlist an accommodation from different housing websites. In my last video, I explained and mentioned different websites where you could get good accommodation deals without getting trapped in the scams. In this video, I'll be explaining a procedure to find a perfect apartment, what is card meter, what is warm meter, and similar terminologies. So let's get started. So I would be explaining the accommodation application process on one of the most popular websites, that is WG-Gesucht, and similar strategies apply for other websites as well. For those who don't know what is WG, WG means Wohngemeinschaft or a dorm. For those who stay until the end, I would be providing an application template which has yielded good responses not only for me but also for the friends who used it. So let's move on to this WG-Gesucht portal. So the first thing you have to do is to register yourself on WG-Gesucht website, log into your account and then go to My Profile. Once you are into the My Profile section, make sure that your profile is complete. At this point, there is an option wherein you can change the language for this particular website. For this particular video, I would be going ahead with German so that you pick up some vocabulary used in such situations. Once the profile is complete, then you have to move to this next step, that is second step for Angebot, which means deals. Here you have to check what kind of apartment or room you want. WG-Zimmer is a single room. Einzimmerwohnung is basically a studio apartment. Wohnung is a complete apartment and house is a complete house. So for this particular situation, we would be selecting WG-Zimmer. Here you have to enter the name of the city wherein you are searching accommodation. Then the different types of contracts, for example, unlimited contract, limited contract, or just a stayover. I would suggest just select all Mietarten, which basically means all types of contract, so that you get more results. Then you have to select the minimum area that you are searching for. Just remember, at the start of the video, I showed you a video of a dorm. It had approximately 10 meters square of area. So after comparing with that particular video, you can select your own value. As of now, I would be inserting 10 meters square. That is the minimum area. Then based on your preferences, enter the maximum amount of money that you're paying or you are willing to pay for any accommodation in Frankfurt. Then select enter. After this, you would get a range of different results which are available, or the rooms which are available. Now I have already shortlisted a couple of them so that it gets a little bit faster. So let's select this one. Once you have selected a particular advertisement, there are a couple of things that you should take care of. Firstly, check different kinds of photos just to get an orientation whether the room or the apartment is furnished or unfurnished. Then check the size of the room. It has to be more than 10 meters square because we entered 10 meters square as the minimum room size. Then the total cost of rent. Then what is the bifurcation of this particular rent? This is very important. See, this is a meter, which means rent. This is the basic rent, that is 380 euros. And then there are Nebenkosten, which are additional costs, which is 80 euros. And then together it is making 460 euros. On other website, it is possible that this Gesamtmeter is written as a warm meter, which means rent including your electricity as well as water costs. And this particular meter, which is 380 euros, is written as kalt meter, which is rent excluding your electricity or water costs. So you have to check what are included, what things are not included, and then proceed accordingly. At this point, you can check or see in the description whether the other costs, for example, the radio taxes or the internet costs, are included or not. Another important thing to look for is the caution. Usually the caution is 2 or 3 times the amount of rent, but let's see, in this case the caution is 200 euros, so it's good. Then check the address as well as the availability from which date you are searching for. Moving down, next thing you have to check is the type of people who are living in this particular apartment. Here we can see that's a Zehner WG, which means 10 people are living in total, of which 6 are women and 3 are men. Then you can check what is the age of this, what do they do, what languages they speak, etc. Then check what are the facilities that are already available in this particular apartment. I would suggest you to read the entire description properly. Once you think that you are okay with the facilities available in this particular apartment or room, if you are okay with the people, if you know that you would be able to adjust with them, etc., then The final step or the last step is to send the message or send your application. At this point, you cannot simply write that, hey, I am interested in this particular apartment and so you should be shortlisted. Here it is expected that you give a short description about yourself, who you are, where you are from, why are you interested in this particular apartment, etc. You should read the description very carefully because sometimes they write a question and then they say in your description mention this particular sentence. So you should read the descriptions very properly and then accordingly write these particular messages. Now for those who are still there, this is the template I was talking about. I would highly recommend a similar template. So basically you can now pause the video, read the template and tailor it according to your situation. If you need editable version of this template, then do let me know in the comment sections below. I am sure that if you follow the process as well as template properly, then you would definitely be getting good responses as well as these WG interviews subsequently. Just remember one thing, that during such an interview, just be yourself and openly discuss the expectations. So, I hope you learned something new today, and if you learned something new, then do consider giving a thumbs up and subscribing to this channel. I would be coming up with similar interesting videos so that you make informed decisions.